Hello, my name is Joe and I review all of your favorite TV shows here on my channel and on my Patreon. Join! Today I'm going to be reviewing The White Lotus episode 3. And what an episode it was. Guys, I am so excited. For some reason, I decided to pay extra attention and analyze every single detail down to the cinematography and the colors of some shots. This is going to be fun for y'all. We're going to start as usual with the weird family. They are the openers of the episode, and damn, the first shot of this episode is the mom dreaming of a literal tsunami to come and take her and her pills away, and potentially her son. As in the tsunami that is coming for them because the dad has a literal warrant for his arrest out at this point. And the fact that the son was there got me questioning because we've seen the intro. We know his name appears next to a dead body, so I was thinking, if he's going to die by the end, is the mother going to use the pills to dive into the tsunami and take herself out? And in her dream, we even see her house, meaning the tsunami taking away everything they have, all of the comforts they are accustomed to, all their money, their possessions, because my man is going to be arrested and be damn sure that his assets are going to be frozen. And I would bet that everything is in his name. And later, we even get the real footage, which I think is what the son was showing his mother before she went to sleep, of the tsunami that happened there a few years prior, where the footage shows a man standing at the beach the same way she was, just waiting for the wave to take him out. And the dad at some point was looking at that video like, considering it. And the final thing about this dream scenario is that it was so freaking blue. And then when she woke up almost in a sea of white. It was a very big contrast from this night blue, almost deep ocean blue, to this sleepy, calm, relaxing, safe white of her bedsheets. And then right after she looks outside, again into deep blue, hazy environment where her husband is on the phone explaining to someone, potentially his lawyer, what he did for his friend that got him in trouble. She sees this. It's again a contrast to the white she's swimming in her bed, but very similar, almost a parallel to her dream, and she just like, I'm gonna go back to sleep. So here I think we have a lot of information about, one, the foreshadowing for the rest of the season, where the entire family is going to be dragged under this tsunami, but potentially will affect them differently. And I will explore this more in the rest of the video. We see the way that these characters are going to deal with these situations, because the way that she deals with everything, apparently, and as we have the hint in the intro credits, is by just medicating herself and going to sleep. Conclusion, her husband is going to bring the tsunami that will destroy their family by the end of the season, and baby girl is just going to escape into her dreams, who will become nightmares. And before the morning comes, we even get an extra shot of a wave fading out as the sky fades in, giving us again this idea of a wave so big it's going to reach the sky and take them all out. It was a great introduction for an episode, like Jesus. Talk about setting the scene, setting a tone for the episode. And we also see from the very beginning that this episode is full of extra art. The art that we see in the intro appears above the mother's headboard when she's in the bed. It appears in the tablecloths they lay out for the breakfast. And it appears again later on in the episode, which I will be pointing out because I think this is significant. And remember what I was saying when I was analyzing the introduction for this show, the intro credits, that there was a scene of almost looked like a storm or a fire, and at the end there's a battle at sea. All of this could be symbolizing or hinting towards this idea of the tsunami that doesn't actually come as a physical tsunami, but a big wave of problems that will swallow them whole. And when they are at the breakfast table, the dad's phone is ringing nonstop. And this is when he finds out that there is officially a warrant for his arrest. And he gets that phone call, that voice message from his lawyer saying, "Sit tight, talk to no one until I figure this shit out. You only answer my call." And in this moment, in the breakfast scene, there was this amazing shot of the camera just panning to the table with his reflection on it and the phone vibrating on it, almost as if they are saying that this phone vibrating, this call coming in, is his life being turned upside down. Him going from this luxurious, rich life to having nothing because they caught on to him. Amazing. I love it. I love this entire episode, guys. I don't know what happened to me that I paid so much attention to everything. I think it was just in my face so much that it was just right there. And it made so much sense. And it's so cool to see so much foreshadowing and like use of color and cinematography. I love this episode, clearly. So after his lawyer says talk to no one, baby boy is scared shitless. Like he's hugging a pillow. He's hugging a pillow. Oh, and by the way, another great shot, because before we cut to the scene where the family is all hanging around and he decides to take their phones away, there's this beautiful shot of the wilderness with one single hole in the middle where the light comes in. And this shot is put there before we see the scene of the dad freaking out. It's almost saying like the wilderness is catching up to him and his way out is closing in on him. And as this shot progresses and it cuts to the dad, there's this rumbly, frenzied noise that gets more intense. And then when we cut to him, we see him almost in a haze, like he's focused right here, but everything around him is out of focus. And it looks a little bit hazy, as if he's lost in his frenzied thoughts. And then he's broken out of it by his son showing him the goddamn video of the tsunami. And because his oldest son is getting calls from the office because baby boy is incompetent and works for his dad, Daddy decides, oh, now is a perfect time. Perfect time to truly disconnect from our phones and our electronics. Yeah, I see you, Dad. And what does he do even worse than just lying to his family about everything and manipulating them into giving their phones away? What does he do? He takes his goddamn Nepo baby outside, and what does he tell him? That he wants to truly disconnect. That he thinks his idiot son has a bright future. And the son, what does he say? That he loves to work right after saying he doesn't have much going on at work because it's clearly not doing anything and just being a Nepo baby in his father's company. And he literally lies to his son and he says that he has so much promise for the future, that they should enjoy this time together and then move on stronger together. Which is a load of bullshit because his son is clearly an idiot. And he knows it. And he looks at his son and he knows that he's an idiot. Loved it. And this is the only way he convinces his son to give away his phone. And he reluctantly gives away his own phone to the lady and is from now on unreachable. Wouldn't be surprised if the only time that we hear about this problem again is at the end of the season when they come and get him. But I still am hoping that the fruit tree with the poisonous seeds is going to come into play and he will use them on someone. I'm thinking the seeds could be used in two ways. One, someone could come after him to try to locate him and arrest him, and maybe he uses the seeds on them. Or, as we've seen, the way that he was looking at the man who got swallowed up by the tsunami, maybe he will use them on himself. Maybe he will be like, the tsunami is coming soon. I better be dead by the time it comes here. And then Dad does what? He does what? He takes the goddamn pills. And he takes the pills and he's still lying to himself and still lying to his family because he says, oh, I don't need drugs to go to sleep. I don't take drugs. And it all buys into this idea that he is the man of the family. He is the macho man. He doesn't need drugs to deal with his problems the way that a woman does. That's what I read into it. But yeah, that's what's going on in the world of mom and dad. Dad has issues, mom is drugged. And then the eldest son, the creep, is again on his mission to hit on every woman on that resort. And now is on a mission to, how do you say it? Divergenize his brother? Which isn't even a thing. Like, come on, who cares? Like, who literally cares? The only sane person in this entire family is the daughter. And what is the daughter doing? Just hanging out with a bunch of Buddhists. She goes to the temple, she gets her appointment marked for Friday at 2 p.m. And I bet you that she's going to be with her Buddha, with her Buddhist guy, just chilling, meditating, interviewing him on all these beautiful, relaxing practices of meditation and Buddhism. I'm sorry if I'm being like an idiot about this, but she's going to be with the Buddhist guy, relaxing, doing her interview, safe with the locals while the shooting is happening in the resort. You can't convince me otherwise. That's what I think is going to happen. Baby girl is going to be out of the resort. And what did I say about her? What did I say? That she was the most likely to stay in Thailand after the goddamn vacation was over. And what did we learn in this episode? What do we learn? We learned that she wants to apply to a program to go back to the goddamn Buddhist temple to study Buddhism. She's staying in Thailand because if her baby brother dies, her father takes the poisonous seeds, her mother takes sleeping pills and goes to sleep forever, who does she have? The brother who wants to sleep with her? Baby girl is staying there. Bet you. Now for the age gap couple. I said in my previous review I thought they were cute and I maintain it. And I will get to it. But first, the guy at breakfast pretends to be a producer to get Sitala's number, to get her number because she's going to Bangkok, he's going after her. And after his session with the meditation lady, we kind of get the hint that he's looking for revenge, potentially for the death of his father. So it could be that the owner's husband was involved in this man's father's death. And that's what he's looking forward to doing in Bangkok. And later on in the episode, he even calls a friend that he has in Bangkok saying, baby boy, I'm going to be going there. So come help me, I guess. By the way, about the meditation lady, I really admire her because she just seems truly committed to her job. She goes to see the guy at breakfast, reminding him that he has a session with her, and he changes his posture. Like when she comes and reminds him, he kind of becomes a little bit defensive. He looks down as if he truly is able to be vulnerable with her and open up about his shit, which he is, and he has opened up about his shit with her. And I just enjoy that. In the middle of all this nonsense, of all this chaos, there's just this meditation lady who is committed to helping the people she's having sessions with. And we see her in the beginning with Belinda's son, and we see her now with this man. And I just appreciate that. Okay? I just hope eventually he opens up to his girlfriend. But I can't figure out what his goddamn job is because it tells the meditation lady that he's done really bad things in his life. And I'm assuming that's his job. I mean, they have talked before about the fact that the way that he makes his money is nefarious and secretive and potentially bad. So, I mean, what does he do? Is he an assassin? Is he a mercenary? What? What does he do? What is his job? Was he involved in the goddamn robbery at the resort? And I mean, he was shitting on his girlfriend throughout the entirety of the episode, but then when baby girl was bit by the snake that he let out, he was running after her and went to see her or to meet her at the hospital. I see you. So yeah, let's talk about the goddamn snake show. He smokes some weed as a bad trip and goes to the snake show. But before that, we hear the girlfriend say, are we ever going to have fun again? This kind of implies that they used to have a lot of fun. Something happened to him. something happened to him and he's been depressed or down or whatever, and they are not having fun anymore. I think that maybe what happened to him was that he found out his dad was murdered. Because, I mean, if it was when he was a child or a baby or before he was born or whatever, he wouldn't have known, or he wouldn't be so aware, or I don't know, maybe he didn't have as much of a vindictive streak as he has now. Maybe that's what happened. Like, in the middle of their relationship, their really fun relationship, he found out his dad was murdered and by whom he was murdered. And that's when he decided to come to this resort to do all this stuff to get revenge on the man who murdered his father. This is my current theory about the old man. And then he goes to the goddamn snake show and he identifies with the snakes that are trapped behind glass to be entertainment for annoying fat tourists who are just there to see exotic animals that to the locals are just normal and they're used to them. And we see that the snake show is clearly just meant for tourists. It's like something that is very normal in the country, in Thailand, and it's put on a pedestal or put on display for tourists who are not used to that kind of stuff. And to me, it kind of contributes to that idea of a white person going to a bunch of exotic places, of dangerous places, of savage places, like a country with a bunch of venomous snakes walking around. And we even have the conversation from the girlfriend saying that snakes are dangerous and that venomous snakes should be behind a locked door so that they don't harm people. And this is coming from the person that in the previous episode was trying to buy a snake choker. And it kind of gives this idea of the idea of the animal is cute, almost like an accessory, but the animal itself is something to be feared. And this is the second character in this episode that hints at the idea that a snake is something to be feared. But then again, during the snake show, the locals are not afraid of the snakes. And the man even says that this venomous snakes, the cobra, is very common everywhere in Thailand, even going up to people's houses through the toilet. To me, it's reflecting this idea of something that naturally happens in a place far, far away that white tourists think is so exotic and savage and cute or cool to witness. But at the same time, I think the old dude was having an idea, because he's going to Bangkok to get revenge on his father, potentially to harm the owner's husband. So couldn't he do it with something that would naturally occur in Thailand, like a venomous cobra? Right? Because then we see him releasing the goddamn snakes because he wants to free the trapped snakes, because he feels trapped himself by something, clearly this revenge that he's looking for. And I mean, if he could release a bunch of snakes and no one batted an eye, he could come back there, take one of the venomous cobras, and then go to Bangkok and set it on the owner's house to bite the owner's husband or something. This is, again, the theory I'm working with for the age gap couple and what this man is doing here. And you notice that a lot of action happened in the weird family with the dad of the weird family. A lot of action happened in the age gap couple with the old man from the age gap couple. But the women are there kind of just crying from the sidelines, kind of just as accessories. So then let's discuss the three friends. Because this is a point in their conversation, right? Where friend number one is saying that she doesn't really like Christianity or any of the most famous or well-known religions because it feels like they only center men in the action. And this is clearly being reflected in the show, because even the friend group doesn't have much action going on apart from their gossiping drama. Like, all of the action, all of the danger is coming from the male characters in the goddamn show. This episode was paying attention to details, guys. But let's discuss the three friends. They flirt with the Russian therapist guy, but this is clearly just to get the topic started, because they talk about the Ukraine-Russian war. And by the way, like, I know we're talking about very non-political subjects, but going on social media these days, seeing what the orange duck is doing every day is awful to my anxiety. And I know I'm in Portugal and I'm very far away, but I mean, am I? Anyway, they flirt with the Russian therapist to get friend number 3 laid, apparently. But the real interesting part about the 3 friends comes during dinner time. And it starts with friend number 2 being like, anything other than Christianity just sounds a little bit witchy and wacky to me. And by the way, this is coming right after we have scenes of a Buddhist temple place where everyone is just chilling and relaxing. And she even says it, like, this new age stuff is not for me. And I'm like, girl, those religions have been around for centuries, potentially millenniums. What are you talking about, new age? And the response of the friend number 1 being like, oh, the epic battle between good and evil is not for me, is consistent with her character, because in the previous episode, baby girl saw her friends gossiping about her and she was like, I don't care. But yeah, friend number 2 is like, I'm not really into anything apart from Christianity. And then they go into the conversation of, yeah, I go to church every Sunday since we moved to Texas. And then he gets to, yeah, I voted for Trump. And the friends are, they reacted well. They reacted well. And the whole time I was thinking, imagine finding out one of your oldest friends is a supporter of a, how do I say it on YouTube? Wait, let me think. A schmassist, schmictator. I mean, I don't have to think about it. I know what it is like. I know. In case you don't know, because most of my audience is from the US, in case you don't know, we are facing a very, very real threat from the alt-right here, so we might join you. It's very easy when you are constantly overworked, when you have to take care of a family, when you have 100, 1,000 responsibilities. It's very easy to listen to the loudest voice. And if you fell into that trap and voted for this man, just never do it again and try to help other people who are falling into the same mistake. It's happening everywhere. It's not just the US. It's not the American idiot. Like, it's happening in a lot of places. Don't feel bad about that. But yeah, if you did it, feel the shame and change. And the thing I really cannot get behind is this goddamn discourse about the gossiping friends. Because what do you mean we get a representation of a group of female friends who are just going to have some fun in another country and they are toxic to each other? Like, this is not a typical friend group. Let's just put that out there. But listen, the way they made that shot when they were gossiping, amazing. Because first we see a close-up of the 2 friends and we see one here, and the middle spot, the only place in the shot that is well lit is the goddamn logo of the White Lotus, and is the exact place where is missing the 3rd friend. And it just creates a bigger distance between these 2 friends, and it creates the idea of absence. Like, there's something missing there, because the 2 main points of this shot are not being well lit. They are in the shadows because they're gossiping behind their friend's back. And then the middle of the shot, where there is the lighting, the color, where our eyes are supposed to focus, just has the logo of the goddamn resort. And the friend is absent from there. And it's even funnier because if the friend was there, they would be perfectly lined up. Friend number 1, friend number 2, friend number 3. And then we cut to a wider shot of them gossiping. And what do you see? What do you see? You see the goddamn frame from the intro credits where they are right here in the shot and then they are surrounded by wilderness, almost like the gossiping friends are getting a little bit too close to their wild side, to their, to the fight that is inevitably going to come between them. Because listen, I said in my previous review that whenever these 2 start gossiping about the other friend, that she was going to be the bitch to step up and say, what did you say about me? But she didn't say that yet. She didn't say that yet. But I'm betting on it that whenever it goes out and they blow up at each other, it's going to be friend number 2 was going to start it. Bet on it. And then you guys, Belinda figured it out. I'm so sorry. Her name is not Belinda, it's Belinda. I almost said Galinda. Well, she figures it out and we get a fake story of what happened to Tanya when Greg's girlfriend is telling when Greg's girlfriend is telling the other girl what happened to his ex-wife, that she just walked into the ocean and never came back. And I mean, where have we heard that before? Could it be at the beginning of this episode with her dream of her just walking into the ocean and the man in the video just walking into the ocean? What is this foreshadowing? Who is going to be walking into the ocean? Anyway, we hear the fake story of what happened to Tanya. Belinda. I was checking if it was really Belinda, Melinda, or Galinda, whatever. Belinda recognizes him. She figures out where she saw him. She confronts him and he lies. And she knows he lied. And I mean, then she goes back to her little room, has a little flirty moment with the guy, and she hears some goddamn noises. And I was thinking, it's freaking Gary, whatever his name is going to come after her because that's assassin guy with his gay friends. And you know what's going to happen tomorrow? In the show, they're going on a goddamn boat. They're going on a boat trip. Belinda better not be on that boat trip. She better not be there. I am sure no one is going to die on that boat trip. Surely, no one is going to get hurt. Congratulations to Belinda for seeing the goddamn crocodile. Now I just hope she figures it out. She figures out what happened to Tanya because surely it has to be on the news. She should maybe get access to her phone or a computer or something like that and just search her up. Because she was rich. It's gotta be on the news. I really hope she figures it out, but I mean, is that going to make her a target? And finally, let's talk about the security guard. Poor baby boy goes to pray because he's going to ask the boss for a promotion as bodyguard to impress his lovebird, apparently. And he prays for it, and when he's praying, we get another shot of the artwork. In the first frame, it appears to have the age gap couple, some lady friends, and then potentially him and his lovebird, where he's kind of begging for her attention in some way. Maybe. It could be just random people and I'm reading too much into this. But one thing that is there for sure is the goddamn monkeys. You know, what do you call them? Is it like speak no evil, hear no evil, see no evil? Is that what you call them? And the goddamn monkeys are so goddamn relevant to this show because there are two interpretations of what they mean, right? In Buddhism, it means avoiding evil thoughts. But in Western society, it kind of means turning a blind eye. You see something bad happening and you're like, oh, not my business. And I feel like all of these double meanings cannot be by chance, right? They present us these monkeys, the wise monkeys, and in Buddhism it means avoiding evil thoughts. In Western society it means turning a blind eye. 1. They also present us with the metaphor of the goddamn monkeys, where we have the frenzied-brained monkey, where people are stressed and freaking out, and the lady in the beginning calls it the monkey brain, where a lot of people in this goddamn resort are stressed and have those monkey brains. But then we see the monkeys in the show and they are relaxed. They are like, not my problem, I'm just chilling in a tree. So it's kind of these two contrasting ideas of what the monkey is supposed to mean as a metaphor. And then in the introduction credits, we have a bunch of monkeys who appear to be invading the resort at some point, but we also know that in this artwork, the monkeys are supposed to be the protectors. So again, it's another instance where there's some form of symbolism involving the monkeys, and it has a double meaning. And I think it has to be related to this contrast between the place where they are, Thailand, and the majority of the tourists that are there, white Western people. I feel like this is where it's going, because then we also have other things that seem to be contrasting in this show. We have the goddamn snakes, where in the introduction they seem to be used as a protection, that where the women in the tower are using the snake to ward off the monkeys. But then in the show, in this episode, they clearly introduce them as a threat. So what is it? Which one is it? And then we get a wider shot of the artwork, and we see some parts of the introduction there as well. So we can assume that the images we see in the intro credits are spread around the resort, are artwork in the resort. And to finalize this review that is already so goddamn long, the security guard prays before he goes to ask for a promotion to be a bodyguard, and he asks it. The lady is very nice to him, and he feels like all full in his belly, like he feels courageous. I got this, I can impress my girl. And then he tells his girl, and his girl is like, oh, that's so cool. And then the goddamn bodyguards come. The goddamn bodyguards come, and they tell him, you are a joke. They wanted to fire you. They didn't fire you because she likes you. You're a joke. And I just have this feeling, and I had it before, and I talked about it before, that this security guard, like the attention he got from being a hero during the assault, and he's going to be looking for something similar to look like a hero again, to impress his girl again. He's going to put himself in harm's way in some way. I think he's going to either sacrifice himself for someone at the end or something like that. But at the very end of the episode, we see that he's being called into office to talk about the assault. And it seems serious, and it seems bad. I hope he doesn't get fired, please. I like that character too much. He's too sweet. Like, he hasn't given up on his loverbird girlfriend or wannabe girlfriend or who he wants to be his girlfriend. But he's not being creepy about it, you know, he's just trying to impress her. It's like Darcy trying to fix the things that she might not like and trying to impress her. It's kind of cute. It doesn't look creepy at all, which is refreshing. So yeah, a lot happened in this episode. There were a lot of little details that could be significant to the story, and I'm just happy that they pay so much attention to this stuff, to the way that they film the show, and even certain shots they include, and the way they pair it with music. And I really love this episode. I hope you guys also liked it. As usual, if I missed something, let me know. If you disagree with something I said, let me know. Let's talk about it in the comments. That's the fun part, guys. And if you made it all the way to the end, please like, comment, and subscribe. And check out my Patreon. I'm doing a lot of cool reviews there. I'm just finishing up Paradise this week, and I'm going to start a couple other shows. So join. It's fun there. Anyway, guys, see you Wednesday probably with the finale of Prime Target. Let's see if they pull it together. Bye.